The event takes place a little before the Boston Tea Party. Samuel gathered thousands of people to form a meeting and discuss the potential threats of different acts from Britain.
Fellow countrymen, we gather here again for the crisis that the Crown gave us. After the Sugar Act, Stamp Act, and multi-different tax legislation, this time they gave us another Tea Act, reducing taxes for the East India Company and making our merchant not able to produce profit. We can't stand this anymore. No more taxation without representation.
Yeah, they're cutting off our merchants' businesses. We need to do something about this as quickly as possible. Those acts are driving us crazy. They're forcing us to admit the fact that they are becoming the monopoly over everything. This is definitely tyranny. Tyranny!
Indeed, we need to resolve this right here and right now. Does anyone have any plans?
How about let's sneak up to the East Indian Company ships, then dump all the tea in the ocean? The best way to stop them from selling tea here is to directly approach and solve the problem.
I think giving a violence approach would not solve the problem at all. It'll only anger the parliament and the king. Once that happens, they might pursue more acts and restrictions on us. How about writing a request to the Governor Thomas first to tell him to go back?
Yeah, he got the point. Fellow members, send Governor Thomas a note, and we will see what he responds with. Then we will decide what to do next.
20 minutes later. He replied that he would not be able to pursue this request since this is an order of the parliament.
This is clearly nonsense. We need to pressure him to agree with our proposal. Backing down now will only make them feel like we are some weak and easy to control people.
Yes, send him a letter again, stating our points clearly. If he refuses us again, we will take the final approach. What we want here is freedom, not violence. Yet.
20 minutes later. He replied again, saying a no is a no. There is nothing he can do.
I'm sorry, fellow citizens. The ship will board tomorrow to the dock, and we can't do anything about it.
Why can't we just use the violent way, end this incident by throwing tea in the sea, or even destroying the whole ship?
We can't do this. The king and the parliament would be so pissed off that they are going to punish for everything that we do.
But silence means weak. If we keep backing down, just like we discussed earlier, nothing will change, and they are going to dominate all the trading field.
Calm down, everyone. I'm sorry. This meeting can do nothing more to save the country. Please leave and have a nice day.
On December 14th, 1773, 3 American patriots are making a plan. I'm done with this brutal rule in front of British people. We shall stand up and rebel against the British.
That's totally right. We have been controlled by these brutal barbarians for too long, and I can't hold it anymore. I think we should think about a plan to take revenge on the British. But what should we do?
I know. We can sneak up to the British ship, then throw those British favorite teas out of the ship and sink into the bottom of the harbor. Sounds fun, isn't it?
You're a genius. Wait, but how are we going to do it? We can't just rush forward to the ship boldly.
Remember what I said? We are going to sneak up to the ship, not rush.
That makes more sense to me. But I am afraid that only 3 of us are not enough. I heard that the British brought 500 chests and ready to sell them.
Yes, so we need to gather people to help us, which is about 100 people.
100.
Yes, you hear me right.
Okay, we will try to gather everybody as soon as we can.
Okay, deal. Meet you guys at 16th, the day of action.
During these 2 days, they gather more than 100 people to participate in this action.
Guys, hear me out. Today is the day. It's time to start our rebellion.
The event takes place a little after the Boston Tea Party. On January 20th, 1774, several weeks after the event of the Boston Tea Party, in Windsor Castle, King George III was just waking up from a resting sleep. As the sunlight passed through the royal red curtain, several maids attended to him, preparing his breakfast and preparing his day. Suddenly, the door was knocked on and pushed open by the Prime Minister of the British. Frederick North came with a letter in his hand about the news of the colonies.
Your Majesty, I brought messages from the Boston colony. They have sent a word to us, saying that they have prepared a huge pot of tea for you.
How nice of the colonizers, still remembering the honored king. What kind of tea did they make? Bohea, Hyson, or my favorite black tea, Gonku? I love to have some tea to start the morning.
Well, they said they create a new flavor, Your Majesty. How should I put this? Salt water? It seems like they pour all our tea into the sea.
Salt water? Never heard of it. What a clever idea. I never seen someone combine tea with salty water. How does it taste like?
Your Majesty, I'm afraid it's not drinkable. Those colonies, those rebels, refused to buy hundreds of chests of tea from the East India Company and pour it into the ocean to protest. They refused to pay taxes and buy our lovely tea. Those rebels are mocking us. It's an insult to the great British.
Oh, mocking us? Insulting us? How dare they waste our great empire's tea? After what we have rewarded them, it is an act of insulting the royal, an act of insulting the crown.
Exactly, Your Majesty. Those rebels think they can subvert the rule of the great British without any consequences. They think they can govern themselves and refuse to pay their fair share.
This is ridiculous. We must punish those colonizers, punish them for the sake of the holy tea. They will face the full anger of the great British and know what are the consequences of defying us. Prime Minister,
Yes, my lord, I'm here.
close their harbor. Seal it shut before they pay for every chest of tea they waste.
My lord, isn't the punishment too light for them? They have insulted the crown and our precious tea. We have to go further, not only close their harbor. We should take away their ability to self-governance. They are unruly, and they cannot manage their affairs.
Yes. Let them learn what happened when they challenged their rightful king. Take away their self-governance. We must pass new laws.
Of course, Your Majesty. I will begin drafting the laws immediately. We will remind them who holds the power in this empire.
And so, under King George's orders, Prime Minister Frederick North and the British Parliament set to work. On March 31st, 1774, the Boston Port Act was passed, closing Boston Harbor to all trade until the East India Company was compensated for the destroyed tea. But that is just the beginning. They passed more laws after, like taking away the colony's self-governance and putting it under the control of the crown. The colonies called those laws the Intolerable Act, but they strengthened the minds of rebels, making them want to start a revolution.
They will pay for the sake of tea.